Hello, and welcome to my video comparing the Abyssal Whip and the Abyssal Vine Whip and testing their strengths in combat. On the left, you'll see the Abyssal Whip, and on the right, you'll see the upgraded version, the Vine Whip. Let's take a look at the stats. The Abyssal Whip, the basic version, has a damage of 672, an accuracy of 1,868, and its type is slash. While the Vine Whip has a damage of 720 compared to the 672 and 2,384, which is quite a big upgrade from the 1,868, and staying consistent, it is slash. The requirements to wield the basic version of the Abyssal Whip are only 70 attack. The requirements of the Vine Whip are 75 attack and 80 slayer. These are required to attach the whip vine, which is the small picture in the lower right, to the regular Abyssal Whip. To create the Vine Whip, you take a regular Abyssal Whip and use it on a Vine Whip, or a whip vine, and it will upgrade it into the whip you see on the right. Let's get testing. Alright, I'm back, and I have with me an Abyssal Whip and the whip vine, which I will use for the second test. Right now, I'm at the Combat Academy in Lumbridge, next to the training dummies, who you can hit an infinite amount of times and they won't die. I have momentum on, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to attack it with the regular Abyssal Whip, as I just equipped, for 1 minute, and then I'm going to rewatch the clip, find the average per second, so I'm going to be finding the DPS of both weapons. If you're curious, I'm not wearing any gear, so nothing to make a crit chance, nothing to improve my damage, and my stats are 87 attack, 85 strength, and 85 defense. Kind of scrub, but I know. So let's get started. 3, 2, 1, go. And it'll randomly do abilities. I'm with momentum, so stop. So that is 1 minute and 7/100ths of a second. I'll probably take off that last hit because it was just at the end of combat with the Abyssal Whip. Now we can attach the Vine Whip and see the damage. That took 75 attack and 80 slayer to attach it. Now if I equip it, momentum still active, I will now hit the training dummy for another minute. Ready, go. Once again, I will take out that last hit as it was at the very end. I will now be back once I've calculated the DPS of each weapon. After calculating the average, I found that the basic Abyssal Whip had a damage per second of about 274, while the Vine Whip had a damage per second about 283. Now you might think, that's not that much, that's only 9 damage per second. But that is per second. Think about per minute, 9 times 60, 540. Think about per hour, if you're doing a Slayer task, that's going to build up. 54 times 60, I don't know, something high, in the 4,000s, I believe. So yeah, that does add up. Now, what about accuracy? That was only a damage test because a training dummy has 1 defense. It's going to hit every time. To do this test, I'm going to be fighting the King Black Dragon with momentum, as I will pause the video here and be right back. Alright, I'm back, and with me I have some gear this time because I'm going to be actually fighting a boss. I'm going to need to have some defense. I have full torics, but I do not have an amulet or a ring, as that will add crit percentage and it may interfere with the testing of the accuracy. I'm going to start with the basic Abyssal Whip, and I have a War Tortoise for food. Since I'm only going to be using momentum, I'm not going to be taking it down in the minute, so I'm going to need some extra food. I'm going to be praying Soul Split during the fight to attempt to heal some of my life points, even though it's not really going to be that much, and I do have momentum active. Now, let's pot up. Hope someone isn't in here. Yeah, I don't mind dying. Just kidding, I have a fire cape. I would be mad. Watch someone be in here. Oh my, are you freaking kidding me? Oh my god. God damn. Well, I got a Hot Worlds. Be right back. Alright, I've Hot Worlds, regained momentum, and I'm ready to go back inside. I swear, who kills the King Black Dragon? Oh, thank God. Okay. And 3, 2, 1, go. Also, I'm going to have to eat during this. And my War Tortoise should actually do some damage, but as long as I keep it during the other test, it should be fine. And stop. I'm going to tele back out. And now, I'm going to go attach my Vine Whip. I think I might have to pause to do my bank pin. Yep, here. Alright, now in my bank, get my whip vine. I should go my shorts. I don't need them. I have a full torque. Alright. Attach it. So we're just gonna pray magic. Let's go back inside. And go. I'm going to try to eat the same amount of food as the Abyssal Whip, because that can cancel an attack. Eat the last one, then just tank for the rest. And stop. I'm just gonna get the rest of the kill. You never know what you can get. Also, this ability bar isn't made for a one-handed weapon. Downed it. Oh! Oh my god. On vid. I never thought that would happen. Where's that book? Oh. Oh my god. You're back. Hello, and welcome back to the third and final part of my comparison video. At the end of the last part, I received Dragon Rider gloves, which was very surprising, and I ended the video without saying that I would find the average damage per second, testing the accuracy, as the King Black Dragon has a decent defense, and this is what I found after reviewing the clip. I found that the basic Abyssal Whip has a damage per second of about 225 against a monster with high defense, while the Vine Whip, relatively, it's pretty much the same as against the training dummy at 277. I believe the training dummy was about 290s, high 280s. So yes. So the overall damage per second, I averaged the two rates, against the King Black Dragon and against the training dummy, and the Abyssal Whip, the basic version, came out to 250 exactly, and the Abyssal Vine Whip came out to 280, slightly rounded up, but very little. Now, how practical is this, spending the time and effort actually getting the Vine Whip versus just using the regular whip? Now, I created an example where we have a Slayer task to kill 200 Fire Giants. Now, I accounted for 1 second between kills, where you run to the next one, so that would be 200 seconds for both whips. Now, I took the amount of life points the Fire Giant has, which is 6,700 something. I checked the wiki, and I divided it by the average DPS on both weapons, the overall average, the 250 and the 280. And I then multiplied that number by 200, and on the basic whip, that was 5,360 seconds, and on the Vine Whip, that was 4,786. Now, if you add these up, it would take you 1 hour and 33 minutes about to do the task with the regular whip, and 1 hour and 24 minutes with the Vine Whip. Now, this is with momentum, and if you're using abilities, you can probably get a faster task. So, yep, in my opinion, if you have the Slayer level and the attack level, just get the Vine Whip. I mean, it's not that expensive. The Whip Vine is only, I don't know, 180k or so. So, yep, that's it for me. Hope you enjoyed the video, and if you found this helpful in any way, please leave a like.